Cheers, kiddos. It is Friday, November 13th. I'm going to teach you a bunch of lessons today because we have all day and I'm going to make videos pretty much all day. So you're going to see this purple shirt, me in jeans, probably me drinking coffee all day. I don't feel great. I've got a cold. I just have a cold. My nose is all stuffed up, so we're going to see how this goes. So personally, I love the flipped classroom. You know that. I was going to do that with algebra anyway. With this module, especially the second half of the module, I'm going to do one video and then 2 or 3 lessons in class. There's a lot of work to be done and not a lot of teaching, which sounds strange, but it's kind of what the flipped classroom is supposed to be. Because I'm going to give you the bare basics so that when you come in, you can jump right in and ask questions. So this is what I think is funny. Recall from your work in grade 6 and grade 8. You know what this is. Well, most of you had engaged in your work in 6th grade, but you probably don't remember it. And none of you had grade 8. Why? Because you're in algebra and you skipped that grade. So let's talk about some of these words. Categorical data. Categorical data means rather than having data based off of numbers, we're having data based off of categories. Like, what's your favorite color? The options are blue, red, black, white, whatever. There's your colors. Those are the categories. Again, categories, male, female. So when we talk about bivariate, so 2 variables, the 2 variables that we're usually going to deal with is going to be based on gender, male, female. And the examples that we're dealing with today and for the next couple days are going to be based off of that right there. So we're going to have categories and we're going to have 2 variables. When we have 2 variables, it's going to look like a T-chart, okay? But it's going to be like a sideways T-chart. So I might have female, I might have male, but then we want to have this other row that's going to say total. And that's key, okay? We want to know what the breakdown is for females, what the breakdown is for males, but just like we did that lesson it was lesson 4, where we had, maybe it was lesson 2, where we had the 2 data plots, or the dot plots, where we had the females' leadership scores, we had the males' leadership scores, and they were different, but when they put them together, it still looks really different. Well, the same thing about here. So you would have female, male, total, and then you would have your categories up here. So category X, category Y, category Z, and again, the total. So what are we really looking at? Well, let's see if I can figure this out. Because I'm only doing lesson 9 with you today. We are going to do 10 and 11 in class. I'm not reading all of this because I don't really care, but here's what I care about. Here's the data that we're going to be dealing with. And this is going to go away, but it's on your packet. And if you notice, I've got a blank packet here. I've got my notes. But here's my blank packet. We're taking a look at this little section where we've got the 5 dots. It says 100 students indicated their favorite power was to fly. 49 of those were female. 131 students selected power, blah, 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 blah. There was 450 total students. We need to figure out a couple different things. What categories were they in? How many were male? How many were female? What kind of stuff do we know? So as we flip the page, we can say how many more females than males indicated their favorite power is telepathy. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to find telepathy. And it is the bottom one. 118 students indicated their favorite power was telepathy. So I'm going to do 118 minus 70, because that's how many 70 was. So how many more females? We're finding the males. So that gives me 11, that's 48. So 70 minus 48, that gives me 22. 22 more females than males. Right now, all we're doing is reading and adding and subtracting. I mean, we haven't really done math yet. All we're doing is adding and subtracting. How many more males than females indicated their favorite power is to fly? So I'll come back to my set where it's got all the data. It says, okay, fly. 100 students indicated their favorite power is to fly, so 49 were female. Well, how many more males? So if it was 100 minus 49, that's 51 males who wanted to fly. 51 males minus the 49 males, or 49 females, leaves me 2 more males. So 2 more males. All we're doing is using the data in order to figure it out, okay? So I'm going to kind of stop right there because that's how we're using the data in a very basic sense. And now I'm going to jump all the way to question 12. So we're going to go all the way down. We're passing all this. I'll stop here real quick. So this is a two-way frequency table. I've already kind of showed you. Here's my males in total. Here's my categories in the total. The things in the total, those are called marginal frequencies. When they're on the margin of our table, those are called marginal frequencies. These other ones that are unshaded are called joint frequencies. How do I know that will help you yet? I don't. It's one of the things that's in the lesson summary. Do I expect that on your test? No, I don't. But you know what? Engage in your thinks it's important. Therefore, so do I. If it's in the margins, on the edge, it's called a marginal frequency. If it's in the actual data, it is a joint frequency. Okay, moving on. So question 12 is the chart. So you are all smart cookies. I want you to go back to the beginning, find all of that data. I know that the total number of students, everybody added up, is going to be 450. That's the only thing that I know immediately based off of that first thing, because there's 450 surveys. I'd like you to take your time, pause me, fill in this as much as you think you can, because I think you can do this. So pause now, because I'm going to start going over it. Pause now. Pause now. Okay. So let's do the marginal frequencies first. To fly, 100 total said it was to fly. 131 said it was to freeze time. 75 said invisibility. 26 was super strength, and 118 was telepathy. Okay, how did I get those? Well, simply from my data. That's the total. Now, personally, flying would be cool. Freezing time, not my thing. Invisibility, I think I'd like to be invisible. I think that'd be pretty fun. Super strength, I've already got that. Like I'm a rock star, so we got that going. Telepathy, I would like to read minds, but I also don't want to read anybody's mind because I think that would be strange. So invisibility for me. So to fly, 49 were females, because it tells me that. So how are we going to find the males? 100 minus 49 gives me 51. 71 were males for freezing time. 48 for invisibility. 25 for males. And 70 for females. Okay. So now I get my calculator. Now it's just subtraction. 131, if I did it right, 131 minus 71 gives me 60 females. 75 minus 48 gives me 27 males. One female wanted to be super strong, and 118 minus 70 gives me 48. Once we have this whole chart, that makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. So now, how do we figure out the totals over here? Well, now we're going right to left, or left to right. We're trying to figure out the total number of females. So I'm going to do 49 plus 60 plus 48 plus 1 plus 70 gives me 228. Now I have two ways that I can find out the males. I can do 450 minus 228, and that gives me 222. But I want to double check that. I'm going to double check that by going left to right. So I'm going to do 51 plus 71 plus 27 plus 25 plus 48. That gives me 222. I know my chart's right. So really lesson 9 was about understanding categorical data was put into categories. Bivariate categorical data by 2 categories, categorical. If you know how to put the stuff in categorical data, bivariate tables, and they've got a specific name, this is called a two-way frequency table. Okay, it's a two-way frequency table. If you can put it in a two-way frequency table, I can get you through 10 and 11. So the plan is you're going to watch this video. You're going to come in, we're going to do all of lessons 10 and 11. It's going to be a lot of group work. 9, 10, and 11, you will have a quiz just on this. So hopefully you're coming prepared. Have a great day, whatever day you're watching this.